Good morning, this is Pixie doing another video. OMAD, yeah, why not talk about OMAD, why not? And also what's really going on with me, because it's best to sort of talk about experience than, you know, there's lots of videos out there that tell you the science. And I think really is the main thing is we don't have all the answers. People will say, because it's their industries, they will tell you they have the answers because they need to push forward their own view. I mean, they're always going to turn around and say, well, I'm a professional, but I only really know so much of the actual trade. I don't have all the answers. I can't fix you. I can't do this. It's a bit like the medical industry. It's a part of management, health management. So you may gain a problem trying to fix another one. There's no answers straight out to get rid of problems. Your body does all the work. They just facilitate the ability to heal. That's the aim of it. And that's why people get wrapped up in medication and other things. There should be short-term solutions, not long-term, you know, for the rest of your life stuff. I met a chap yesterday, and I asked him about his diabetes because I knew he was diabetic. How long have you been had diabetes? He told me during his working times that he had a soda stream. He was very much into it, and so he'd drink loads of soda streams, loads of syrups, and he said it seems to have developed from there. So not to say that soda stream have a product that causes diabetes, just that his pattern and level of use was enough to cause that. However, sometimes you hear things like in moderation, but it could be that all sugar syrups and stuff have a damaging effect on the body. That's why you don't have them all the time. You need to heal from them, and that's why you need to fast. The very essence of eating food may damage your health. You have an immune reaction when you eat things. Inflammation, chemicals come in, your body got to filter them out. There's all sorts of stuff that goes on. There could be toxins and other things that are accumulating in your liver that are just in the environment that the food absorb, like lead and stuff and petrol and all sorts of things. So it's just understanding the balance and how it works. But there's a lot of people, but she's there's a woman and she's quite large. Look out the window, see her there. No. There we go. So you'll see her. She's quite a large lady. Which way are you going to? But she doesn't have to be that large. It's just one of these things of habits, behaviour patterns, knowledge around food, nutrition, diet. She's been told to eat little and often, or just eat often. Drink drinks, all the things that have got hidden calories and sugars that she's not told around. So she's kind of living, but she's living for industry. She's living as a product. She's become a product. There was stuff with Monsanto about genes, owning genes, and they couldn't really do that. And I think the ultimate aim was that if they have something synthetic that somebody absorbs into their body and it becomes a part of their own genetic structure, they could claim some form of ownership over that person. You have our genes in you. You belong to us, sort of thing. You know, we've helped create you. It's a bit creepy. But I think there's some weird aims like that. There's definitely products and things that damage people's health, and they are aware that there's consequences to the use of them, and they carry on doing them anyway because they would like somebody to actually make money by their health being damaged. And that's something I've still got to do. I will do that. Is dig out my medical records. There's some stuff that doesn't really add up. I need to pick through, and I might come across all sorts of things. one of the reasons why I wanted to. I was interested in sort of LSD for hacking the mind, not to sort of damage it, but to access maybe hidden memories and other things locked away in that. But that was just a kind of project I was doing. But I'm also looking at natural forms of it, so LSA. And so I've got a few plants that have that potential. The concentration of it might be very, very low. It may be a case of I have like lucid dreams or something like that, or vivid dreams, rather than sort of, any sort of extremes, because I think people panic about that, and it's because the way it's been marketed and sold to people, and then also the products out there are more extreme, generate certain effects, and that's why you got some things on the market that were created to weaponize weapons. Like you got Flakka, what its purpose is a bit of a mystery, and why it's come around. And also synthetic cannabis is nothing like it. People were totally nutsoid. They can, they got the strength of a bear and the mind of a zombie. So it's nothing I'm aware of like cannabis. So anyway, I've slipped into all these different areas. So back to OMAD, I'm kind of gone a bit warrior at the moment. And it could be that I'm more adapted. So I woke up this morning and my body said it was hungry and wanted some sugar. And it could be sugar cravings, it could be that I'm just tired and I want some energy. And so I did some shopping this morning and I ate a couple of pastries. I had a brownie and a pastry. I had a cookie actually. A brownie and a cookie. And that's all I needed really. Last night I had some chugga. I had a shot of chugga. It's got melatonin, so I thought that might be okay to sleep. I didn't add it to any water. I just drank it. I just basically got the bottle and I told myself I'm drinking Coke, and then I just drunk a good mouthful of it. Guzzled a little bit of it, and brain was fine with that, because what I've done is I've told it that it was a different drink, basically, and when my brain has actually caught up with it, I've already drunk a load of it. It's like medicine, isn't it? You have a big spoonful at once, swallow, and then you think about it. If you think it's horrible medicine, you put up these defences, so it was easier to subdue and trick my brain. Chugga tastes alright, it's just this particular extract I've got is really strong. And it might be the melatonin and whatever else is in it. So the next time I brew it up, it would be weaker and it'd be just perfectly fine. So it's just, it's like these coffee shots. They're not really into them either, really. I prefer it as a drink rather than just getting a shot. So my body's adapted, and I'm also having the calories. Calories are quite important. Because if you're losing weight, it doesn't matter what diet you're having. It's the overall calorie ratio. And trying to avoid is, often they talk about calorie deficit, but it's also to avoid nutrients deficit. It's okay to deplete your resources, but you've got to build it back up. And I also hear about like replenishing muscle glycogen, but it could be if you're at the point your body's using your muscles sugars. It could also be that your body's using your muscles as well, because accessing it. I mean, I would. If you go in there, if you're going to take sugars from something, you may as well take other things from it as well. However, it's not a bad thing, because if you're trying to build up your strength, the very art of weightlifting damages your muscles. So if they're getting rebuilt and it has a muscle memory, then whatever's built in its place will be more effective than the one previous to it, because it was damaged and it would just rebulk itself up to compensate basically the injury. So it's like what you do with boys. I think their muscle fibres multiply, they don't have to tear them so much. So if you reduce your bulk, and then you build yourself back up, that's what it's doing. So you slim, I guess sort of streamline, and then you bulk. And then basically it's also your intake of nutrition. So you bulk with real good quality food. That's what you want to do. Because I think the body can build things from, well, it can build for anything, but you might want a better source, basically. A good quality source for it. Other things as well, I'm less fussy about if things are slightly, not on the turn, but you know, like if a salad's a bit kind of, not necessarily manky, I can just chuck on a bit of vinegar on it and eat it. So yeah, maybe slightly, it's just in that kind of in-between area, because I don't really mind that it's kind of slightly fermented, not massively, it's just real slightly. Because I think it's good for the gut biome, it's not going to cause an issue. Vegetables, if you've got meat, it's a different story, because you are meat, so you don't really want a bacteria that's going to say, hey, look, we're in a living host, we can start feeding on him as well. But the other bacteria, it's just going to be interested in plants, and it may be that you've got stuff stuck in your gut, it's just going to go, oh, we'll eat that as well. And then our byproduct will be an enzyme that might be useful to your gut function. Anyway, this is Peter sign off, and I will speak to you again. Take care, bye bye.